13 ways to increase clicks for your Google Shopping ads. Are you already running Google Shopping ads, or are you planning to run Google Shopping ads sometime this year? Then this video is just for you. I'm going to go into how you can increase clicks from your Google Shopping ads to drive traffic to your Shopify store and increase sales. Hi, I'm Clarice Lin, the ROI doctor who helps small businesses and online stores to double the traffic and sales by getting on Google and YouTube page 1. If you're new to this channel, then you want to check out one of my free resources, the Shopify marketing guide, where I go into the free and paid ways of driving traffic to your store. As the saying goes, don't put all your eggs into one basket. So even if you are running Google Shopping ads or intend to run Google Shopping ads, you might want to explore different ways, free and paid ways as well, to drive store traffic and sales for your Shopify store. So the link is in the description and pinned comment, so do check that out. Quick definition guide for those who are new to the world of running Google ads. Google Shopping ads, what are they exactly? This is how it looks, your Google Shopping ad. Basically, it's a mini ad for all of your products. If you decide to run Google Shopping ad for all of your products, this is how it's going to look like. You're going to have the title of the product, the image of the product, the name of your store, the pricing, and if you offer free shipping, it will be listed at the bottom of your product ad. And of course, if you have a rating for each of your products as well, that's going to appear under each of your Google Shopping ad. What does product focus ad means? Basically, it means that instead of promoting your store, you are promoting each of your product individually, highlighting the product title and the image of each product. And Google Shopping ad is also a search-oriented ad campaign, meaning that Google will show each of your product ad to the customers based on what they type into Google, especially if they intend to buy a product. Typically, the Google Shopping ad is going to appear at the top of Google search results or at the top of the Google Shopping ad, in front of all the other search results. Although it's a search-oriented ad campaign, Google does not allow you to decide which are the keywords that you can show your product ad to. Rather, Google will make the decision for you and decide for you who to show your ads to based on their search query. And you, as the store owner and advertiser, what you need to do is to submit all of your product information into a product feed. And this product feed contains all the details of your product that is essential for Google to understand what your product is about, so they can promote it to the right people. That means whatever you submit into this product feed will help Google to better match your product ad to the right people. But that also means if you're not submitting enough information or you're submitting the wrong information, then Google is unable to match your ad to the right people. And that means your Google Shopping ads might fail. If you want to learn more about the 7 possible reasons why your Google Shopping ad could fail, you could check out one of my other videos that I've created, link in the top right hand corner of the screen. Do check that out to prevent mistakes for your Google Shopping ad campaign and ensure the success. How do you pay for your Google Shopping ad? What's the payment model like? The shopping ad is a pay-per-click model, which is also sometimes known as the PPC model. That's similar to the Google Search ad payment model, where you don't need to pay unless someone clicks on one of your products and land on your store. That means if you're getting impressions, you don't need to pay, but if someone clicks, you will pay for every click to your store. Note of caution, that also means if you're getting the wrong clicks to your store, that means you're wasting your money. So that goes back into how and why you should optimize your product feed, which I'm going to address in the later part of this video. What is a click? A click on a Google Shopping ad is sometimes known as a click-through or the click-through rate. The click-through rate basically measures how many clicks you're getting for every impression that is being shown to a Google search user. And that means the higher the click-through rate, that means hopefully your ad was very relevant to the Google search user, so you're getting a high click-through rate. I've also created another video on how to get more impressions for your Google Shopping ad and what's the reason if you're getting low impressions, so you can also check out the other video right there, link on the top right hand corner of the screen. How do you create a Google Shopping ad? There are 3 things that you need. You need to have a Google Ads account, new account setup. You need to create a Google Merchants account and they need to be linked. And last of all, you need to install the Google Shopify app. So with all these 3 tools filled up with all your store information and your product information, then you can create the product feed as I mentioned earlier in the video. And once you have that successfully submitted and Google has reviewed your store information and confirmed that your store is legit everything is good, then you can start creating your Google Shopping ads. And having those 3 tools set up means that your products can also be on the free listings on the Google Shopping tab. That means even if you decide not to run ads yet, you can still have your products shown up for free on the Google Shopping tab. For more information on how you can set up the 3 tools successfully, you can check out the video, link in the top right hand corner of the screen, so do check that out. What's the average click-through rate of a Google Shopping ad? Before you start running your Google Shopping ad, or if you've already started, you might want to know more about what's the average click-through rate of other Shopify store owners or other store owners who are running Google Shopping ad. To get a better idea of what to expect in the performance of your ad, can your ad actually do better if you're performing or overperforming? Of course, the average click-through rate might not necessarily reflect the true click-through rate of your Google Shopping ads should you decide to run them, but it will give you a better idea to do your math and your budgeting for your Google Shopping ad. So let's take a look at the screenshot right here. There's a resource that I have gathered together online. You can see right here, that's the average click-through rate of a Google Shopping ad. Do check that out. Look at the industry where your Shopify store belongs to and see how your store will measure up if you should decide to run Google Shopping ads. We know that if you're running Google Shopping ads, we want to get more clicks, of course. Because when you get more clicks, it means you're getting more traffic, more visitors, and a higher likelihood of getting more sales. And if your Google Shopping ads are not performing, not getting the clicks when Google shows your ads, then that means in the long run, likelihood that your ad cost is going to go up, especially when the competition is high, because Google will choose to show the ads from your competitors rather than yours because your ad is not relevant. That means Google is going to kind of demote your ad, and that means you need to pay a bit more if you want your ad to go back to a high ranking. And now you know the ins and outs of exactly why you need to be getting more clicks on your Google Shopping ads. It's not just affecting your store traffic and store sales, that's also likely going to affect your ad costs in the long run. Now let's get on with how you can drive more clicks for your Google Shopping ads, the 13 ways. The most critical factor of actually driving more clicks for your Google Shopping ads is the quality of your product feed. I've mentioned the product feed a few times, so now I want to go into proper explanation of it. Basically, it's a set of information for each of your products, that's including the product title, the description, the pricing, the color, the material of your product, so on and so forth, the dimensions, etc. If there's any patterns, that means you provide as much information of your products as possible to Google, and that helps Google's smart algorithm to be able to derive what kind of people will be most interested in your product based on the details that you have provided. And that goes into point number 1. Improving the quality of your product image. For the Google Shopping ad, the number 1 attribute that is most critical to the success of your Google Shopping ad is the product image. Because what happens is, every time the shopping ad is being shown, the first thing that every shopper, mostly they'll be looking at, is the picture of your product. They'll take a look at it and then decide if this is a product that they will be most interested to buy. And that means your product image plays a very important role in the decision-making process of your potential customer. If your product image is not good or terrible, then they are not going to look further. They're not even going to click on it. They're just going to skim over it. Most people, when they shop online, they operate on this basic policy is that what they see is what they're going to get. So if they don't like what they see, you're not providing attractive, appealing image of the product that you're selling, even if your product is great, then that's not going to induce the user to click on your ad at all in the first place. And Google wants to help you as a store owner to be providing appealing images, so they have come up with a set of guidelines. So let's take a look at the guidelines over here. This is the requirements page for the image. So you can read all of this in more details yourself. What I want to highlight for the requirements for images is the one right here that says image guidelines. So there are minimum requirements. So if you are selling clothing products and non-clothing products, there's a specific resolution size that Google wants you to have. And you need to accurately display the entire product with no product staging. That's really critical. And they have given you examples over here, which you can take a look at yourself. And you to make sure that your image shows all products if it's in a bundle. And don't use a placeholder. So if you don't have a product yet, don't set it up and put an image that is not the actual product. And don't use the logo as well for your actual product image. Also, don't have any text overlay on top of your image, covering the image. So these are a couple of core requirements that you want to keep in mind. You can look at it in detail yourself. I'm going to put the link down in the description and pinned comment so you can take a look at all these detailed requirements. But I just want to highlight what Google is actually looking for so you have a better idea of how to present your images in the best light to get the most number of clicks when it's shown in Google Shopping. I hope that gives you a better idea of what's the expectation of each of your product pictures. So make sure you also do a test of how your products will look like when you're on the shopping app by testing it out on your mobile phone to see how your product image look like, because that's the main device these days. When people do shopping, they actually do it on their phone on the go. So you want to make sure you're getting the right image to attract the right people. Remember this, the quality of your photo reflects the customer's perception of your product. So if you want your customers to think your product is good, make sure your image is top-notch. The second way to drive more clicks for your Google Shopping ads is to focus and improve on your product title. When a shopper first look at the Google Shopping results, they look at the image first, then the second thing they'll be looking at is the product title. And from the product title itself, they want to know whether the title of the product, how closely do they match to the product they are looking for in the first place. Your product title should ideally have one or more of the words that they have typed into Google search. That means you need to know what your shoppers are actually looking for when they go into Google. And by knowing what your potential customers are searching for on Google, that helps you to rewrite or improve on your title to make sure you're capturing those keywords. So Google knows that, okay, your product title has those keywords. The search user are using those keywords to type into Google. Oh yes, they are a match. Let's show this store's ad to them. For the product title, you can add up to 150 characters, but only the first 70 characters is shown up on the Google Shopping ad. However, Google has specified that you can fully make use of your product title to add more information if you like, although they won't be shown to the shopper, but Google will also use the title information as part of their matching process to show to the right people. And one thing you want to note is that typically if you're not optimizing your product title, you're not making additional changes, what the Google Shopify app does is to combine your original product name and your variant name, and that becomes the product title for each of your variant that shows up on the Google Shopping ad. So each of your variant itself will appear as individual product ad when you're running a Google Shopping ad. And to help you further, you also want to take a look at what Google has specified to help you to improve your product title as well. You can check out this page here. There is an entire page right here where Google specifies what you should do to your product title and what you should not do for your product title, like for example, capitalizing your entire product title. So Google doesn't really like that. Google also doesn't want you to put the word sale in your product title because that's a different attribute altogether. So you want to make sure you follow all of these instructions to get the best results for your Google Shopping ads. If you want to deep dive into everything to know about optimizing the product title, you can also check out one of my videos right there, link on the top right hand corner of the screen, where I go into details of how to craft your product title so you will match more precisely to your potential customers' queries. You can check that out. Even if at the end of the day you decide not to run your Google Shopping ad, you just want to have the free listings, that video is also going to help you to improve the click-throughs for your free listings on Google Shopping. The third way to increase clicks for your Google Shopping ads is to optimize your product description. Google allows up to 5,000 characters for your submitted product description. That means you're allowed to craft from about 700 words to 1,250 words. There's plenty of words for you to describe and promote your products in your product description. And mainly you want to focus on not just the features of your products, you want to highlight the benefits of your products, how to take care of your products, what is a product made of, and what's so special about your products. All of this, as much as possible, you want to put that into the product description. You also want to put the keywords that you have mentioned in your product title, you could also weave that into your product description as well, because then Google is able then to put 2 and 2 together and decide, oh yeah, they have mentioned these keywords in the product title and they have also mentioned a few times in the product description. This means that this is very important. So what you want to do here with the product description, your main goal here is to help Google's algorithm to really have a good grasp of what your product is actually about and what's so special about your product. So if a specific user is searching for a product with specific features or benefits of the product, then Google is more likely to show your ad to them. If this information is insufficient for you and you want to learn more examples of how you can improve your description as well, you can check out one of my videos right here, link in the top right hand corner of the screen, where I talk about different examples of how you can improve your description so you can get more clicks. The fourth way of maximizing clicks from your Google Shopping ads is to work on your negative keyword list. As I mentioned at the start of this video, Google does not allow you to decide which are the search query or which are the keywords that your product ad should be showing for. Based on all the information that you have submitted in the product feed, they will make the decision. However, because Google's algorithm is not perfect, sometimes they could be showing your product to the wrong people because Google's ad is not that super sophisticated yet. And what you need to do as a store owner, the advertiser of the shopping ads, you need to log into Google Ads and work on the exclusion list. Essentially, you log in to see all the keywords that your product ads is showing up for, which are the impressions and which are the clicks, and then you can decide, all right, okay, this keyword does not truly reflect my product, that's the wrong match. Or you think that if someone is searching for that keywords, it doesn't mean that they're buying a product. So what you can do then is to go in and check the box and click on exclude to tell Google that next time if someone goes into Google and type in those keywords, please don't show my product ad. If you are very much aware of what your customers are searching for, then you have better control over telling Google who not to show your ads to. And that means you're helping to fine-tune Google's algorithm to learn to then not show it to those people that you think they're not going to become your customers, but rather to find more of the right people to show your ads to. And as you're running your Google Shopping ad, what you also need to do is to be constantly reviewing that list on a regular basis. And every time you are adding new products or every time you're changing your product description or product title, that list of keywords could change, and that means you need to be regularly reviewing those keywords and then adding them to the negative list. When you're doing the exclusion, make sure to select to exclude an exact match for those keywords rather than a broad match. If you select the broad match, there's a high chance that your ad will not be showing up for the keywords that you want to be ranking for. So just select an exact match and tell Google, when someone types into these keywords, exactly these two words, I don't want my ad to be showing up for it. The fifth way to increase clicks for your Google Shopping ads is to add reviews for each of your products. When you're putting in reviews for your products, this is what happens. Your reviews, the number of stars is going to show up beneath each of your product ad. And naturally, when you have reviews at the bottom of your product ad, it's going to give users the confidence to click on an ad, knowing that other people have bought from you and they have given favorable feedback. If you can, please do add your reviews for each of your products. When they show up on the Google Shopping ad, it's going to boost your chances and maximize clicks for your ads. The sixth way to increase clicks for your Google Shopping ads is to make sure that you have selected the correct Google product category for each of your products. Google uses a combination of the title, product description, and other attributes, including the Google product category, to decide who to show your products to. If you are putting your products in the wrong category, that could result in negative consequences. That means they could be showing your ads to the wrong groups of people, to the people who are searching for another product. So make sure you have that selected correctly. If you don't select the Google product category yourself, and Google will take the liberty of selecting that for you, sometimes they could be correct, but sometimes it might be incorrect. I have instances where my clients did not select the Google product category for their product. What happens was they were selling pet sweaters, but it ended up to be a sweater for humans. That means it will result in showing to the wrong groups of people, and that might not be getting the click. So when someone is searching for a sweater, imagine a dog sweater comes up in front of them, and of course they are not going to click on it. To make sure that your products are classified correctly in the correct bucket, in order for them to show to the right groups of people, this is where you can find the Google product categories over here. If you want more details of how to find your Google product category, how to fill them out properly, and how to select them, you might want to check out my other video right here. I've created a video where I go into details of selecting the most precise Google product category to maximize the clicks and chances and visibility on Google Shopping. So do check that out. The 7th way of increasing clicks for your Google Shopping ad is to make sure you select the correct product type. Under product type, Google doesn't have a specific official taxonomy that you can select from, but what happens is you can try to select a specific product type, a closer product type of what your product is about. So for examples, let's say if you're selling dog collars, under the official Google product category taxonomy is called pet collars and harnesses. But if you're selling precisely dog collars itself can be the product type. So it really helps Google to really understand what your product is about and show them to the right groups of people. The 8th way of increasing clicks for your Google Shopping ads is to add the material of your product. Regardless of which type of products your store is selling, putting in the material of your product is really going to enhance the visibility of your products for your Google Shopping ad. In some cases, there are people who are searching for a specific product with the material. So to them, material is really important. Let's say if you're selling like a t-shirt, if your product is entirely cotton, you want to put the cotton. If your product is made out of 3 materials or more, select the top 3 material type and put it in. If it's 1 material type, then just put in that 1 material. If there's 3, you can separate them using the /, put that in this way, fill that into your Shopify material attribute, regardless of whether you're selling furniture, clothing, or baby products, or luggage, etc. So putting in the material of the product will be really beneficial. And the 9th way of increasing more clicks to your Google Shopping ads is to put in the color of your product. There are some people who are very specific and they really prefer the certain products of specific color that they're searching for. So putting in the color under the attribute color is really going to help your products rank better and help Google match it to the right group of users. Similarly for colors, if your product has more than 3 colors, select the top 3 color type and put that in. And you also use the / to actually separate each of those color types. If your product only has 1 main color, then just put that 1 color in. The 10th way to drive more clicks for your Google Shopping campaigns. Add in the product size. The product size can be, for example, if you have clothing or apparel, it could be like small, medium, large, extra small, extra large, extra large. So that could be the size. A size can also include the dimensions of the product, that is the length, the width, the depth, or the height of an object, depending on what products you're selling. If you're selling furniture, you want to have the length, the width, the height. That's something you want to include. But if a customer is looking for a baby stroller, maybe there are certain dimensions of the stroller that the customer is very interested in. So you want to put it in, like what's the length of the stroller, what's the width, or what's the depth. What you could do to make your product fit and rich with all the information is to add your product size, these dimensions, add it in the product description, as well as leveraging on the other attributes for Google Shopping, that is to fill in each of these individual length, width, height, all this information. And make sure you use the same unit of measurement. If you're using centimeters, keep to centimeters. If you're using inches, keep to inches. So to keep it consistent for all your products in your store. The 11th way to drive more clicks for your Google Shopping ad is to add the product weight. This is very crucial, especially if you want to calculate shipping costs. There are some instances where some customers would like the product to be under a specific weight, so it's more lightweight for them. So in that case, you want to put your product weight in. The 12th way of driving more clicks for your Google Shopping ads. If you're running a sale for some of your products, leave the pricing as it is and then list down the sale price separately. When you do that, what happens is then Google, when they're extracting the product feed, will be able to differentiate to say, okay, this is your original price, now there is an offer. So there will be kind of like a little, you can see on top of your product ad, if there's like a price drop, if you have that sale price listed separately compared to your original price that you have there, that's going to help to get more clicks for your Google Shopping ads. And the 13th way of driving more clicks for your Google Shopping ads is, if you can, do offer free shipping, because that free shipping is then going to show up under your ad. As you can see in this particular product ad itself, free shipping is listed right under. And some people are naturally attracted to ads which offer free shipping. So if, let's say, you and your competitors they are showing kind of similar type product and you are offering free shipping, that could give your store an added advantage. But of course, if your store is not making money, then don't offer free shipping if you can't do it and cause your business to lose its profitability. If you can, then put that in. Or let's say, for example, if you are running like a specific sales for your products, like a store-wide sales, and you're offering free shipping for a limited time, so make sure you put that in. And what happens is when Google extracts this information from your product feed of like free shipping, they can reflect all of this information underneath their product ad, and that's going to greatly boost your chances of more clicks on your shopping ad. And that rounds up my entire video of 13 ways to drive more clicks for your Google Shopping ad. I hope those tips is really going to help you to build the correct foundation for you to start off with when you are launching your first Google Shopping ad, or if you are new to it, you haven't done any of those that I've mentioned before. Now it's time to get back to your ads and start optimizing them to get the best results for your Google Shopping ads. Of course, optimizing your Google Shopping ads doesn't end there. There are also other tactics to improve your Google Shopping ads, but what I've done in this video is to provide you with the basics of how you can optimize and get more clicks for your Google Shopping ads. There are also other ways like adjusting your bidding strategy, when to adjust your budget, all of those information as well. There's kind of more of the intermediate and advanced tactics of improving, driving more clicks for your Google Shopping ads. If you want to learn more of those intermediate to advanced tactics, remember to leave a comment down below and ask me what exactly do you want to know more about in terms of the intermediate and advanced tactics of optimizing your Google Shopping ad campaigns. And if you find that all of those information that I've just shared with you just flew over your head, it was just too much for you, you want to work with me one-on-one, then you can contact me using the contact form below. I've put it in the description and pinned comments. I work with Shopify store owners to optimize their Google Shopping ad campaigns to get the best results to drive more traffic and sales to your Shopify store. And last but not least, don't put all your eggs into one basket. If you want to drive traffic, remember to diversify your resources. Get your traffic from different areas, from different online platforms. You can learn all about it in my Shopify marketing guide, link in the description and pinned comments, where I go to the pros and cons of each of those free and paid methods of driving store traffic. And you can decide for yourself what is the best for your store, which different channels that you want to focus on to drive more traffic and double your sales for your Shopify store. And if you enjoyed this video and found it really useful, remember to give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future videos on how to double your traffic and sales by getting on Google and YouTube page 1 of Clarice Lin RI Doctor. I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Thank you.